Hello everyone, welcome back to Caliboost YouTube channel. Today we are finally going to talk about planche leans. Many beginners and even professional athletes have problems doing a perfect planche lean. Today we're going to take you through every common mistake in the planche lean, also how to do a perfect planche lean, a proper planche lean, and some tips that you can implement in your workouts. So, the number one thing that I like to do in planche lean is I like to point my toes. And pointing my toes helps me to engage my glutes and also to pull in my core. It's a preference question, but I suggest to most of my clients also to do the pointed toes thing. Hand placement looks like this, okay? You should focus on protraction. Also, it is very important to tuck in your belly and engage your core. And I can tell you one thing, in planche leans, your core will never be engaged enough. So whenever you're doing planche lean, try your best to engage your core. Even if you're thinking your core is already super engaged, it could be engaged more and tucked in more. So think about that always when you're doing planche lean. Okay, so pointed toes, let's go. Also, another thing, how to understand that your core is engaged properly is you will also feel obliques. Not every one of you, but for example me, when I started to engage my core properly, I started feeling my obliques more when I was doing the planche lean. Also, try to focus on shoulder depression or depression, depression, right? Try to focus on shoulder depression. Because doing this, that's just not gonna work for you. So, protraction, shoulders depressed, core engaged, glutes engaged, straight legs, but you won't have to worry about straight legs if you will do the pointed toes thing. And also, if you are strong enough and if you are like more advanced athlete, elevated planche leans is a really good choice to implement in your planche workout. I am not usually taking pallets like these. I'm usually taking that box, but I am too lazy to bring the box here, so I will show it on the platform. So again, pointed toes, elevated feet, and you get yourself a harder planche lean. Going in, pointed toes, engaging protraction, glutes, core, straight legs, and depressed shoulders. Also, when you're doing planche leans, don't do this, because then you are provoking your back to fall in. Always look at the ground. And as you can see now, at the end, I engaged my core more, because you never will engage your core enough. So think about that always. Oh, and I also forgot one thing about the elevated planche leans. You can also use higher platforms. Like for me, I use this box here. It is like 3 times higher than this platform. But choose the right height correctly, because if you will choose like a platform too high, it will be too hard for you. You won't be able to do a perfect planche lean, and that won't be that effective. Nah, film me, brother, film me, brother. About the protraction, I haven't had this problem, but some of my clients have this problem, is when they do the protraction, they over protract, and when they over protract their spine, it's not like they have a protraction, but they look like a curved ball. And that's not going anywhere. That's not a good planche lean. I will show you the wrong way, and I will show you how that looks like, how over protraction looks like. The over protraction is when you depress your shoulders, but you are focusing very much on your upper body, and you do like this. And then you're just too high, your core doesn't work how it should work, and yeah, just basically bad planche lean. A good way to understand if you are doing the correct and perfect planche lean is just to film yourself, film you doing the planche lean, and then just compare your video to our perfect planche lean. And then hopefully you will be able to understand what is lacking there and what should be fixed. Tell me about that planche lean.
Nesāc.
Nu, davai,
Es neesmu gatavs. Nav video. Bet sadauzīšu to kino kameru visu. Alright, let's get into it.
Bro has gone through 3-hour workout, so sorry about the non-energetic Paul.
Okay, very simple. The things I like for my clients and people that I help get a better planche lean in general to focus on are these very two simple things. First off, if your elbows are facing inward, big no-no. You have to like force it outwards, so the ditch of your elbow is pointing forward. Second thing being, your hips should be activated and pelvic tilt should be there. However, don't overdo it. This is also a mistake that I see a lot of people making. With the right intentions in mind, you're not really doing it correctly. So, if you don't activate your midsection, it's gonna look something like this. If you activate it properly, something like this. If it's too much, it will go like this. This mistake is especially relevant in the elevated planche lean. So in the elevated planche lean, it's a lot harder to see how much you're protracting or activating your pelvic tilt, everything in the midsection. So this is better to fix it earlier so you don't end up with this problem later down the line when it's going to become like a bigger issue.
So, in summary about common mistakes. More often than not, there are a lot of small mistakes instead of one big mistake. So, we're gonna make a list of those mistakes so you get a good understanding of what not to do. We'll start from your upper body, and the first mistake is not having straight arms. Even if your arms bend like this a little bit in the planche lean, that's already a different exercise and that won't be as effective. Speaking about protraction, as I mentioned earlier, you can either not protract your spine enough or you can over protract your spine. So try to do the perfect protraction, and if you're not sure that your protraction is perfect, you can always rewind the video where we show you the perfect planche lean, and then you will get a good understanding of how protraction should look like. Guys, if you don't want to do shit like me, please warm up properly, because now I have a fucked up shoulder and I can proudly say that I can lift 0.5 kilos. Guys, I'm very strong. Next week I'ma do kilo. 1 kilo, guys. Stop filming, bro. How is the bicep pump feeling?
Shut the fuck up.
Sorry. We will continue with hand placement. So, as Paul mentioned before, hand placement should be somewhere about 45 degrees. It's important to choose your hand placement by understanding where you have the least pain in your wrists when you are doing the leans. The most common hand placement is 45 degrees. Also, as Paul mentioned, biceps should look forward. Also, ditch of the elbow should look forward. Not too much, not too inward, but ditch of elbow looks forward. Not engaging your core or not engaging it fully. So remember, always tuck in your core as much as you can, as much as possible, and push yourself. In every planche lean, just push yourself and try to tuck that core in very, very much. Talking about lower back, don't raise it too high and don't push it too low. And of course, not engaging your glutes. That is incorrect. You should always engage your glutes when doing planche leans, and when you will engage your glutes, also the mistake about straight legs will kind of disappear, because when you engage your glutes, your legs just straighten up. If somehow engaging your glutes doesn't help you with straightening your legs, also remember, as I mentioned earlier, you can always point your toes and it will help you to straighten your legs and also engage your glutes. And you'll ask when you should do the planche leans. I'm currently training my full planche holds, so I use planche leans as a workout finisher. I do them from about 4 to 8 sets based on how I feel, but for some of you who maybe can't do only tuck planche, you could do tuck planche holds and then just start to do planche leans. Also, if you are just starting out and you can't quite hold the tuck planche, you can start with planche leans as a first exercise and do it for 4 sets at your best form, at your best lean, and then continue on with some shoulder strengthening exercises like pike push-ups or even elevated pike push-ups based on your strength level. So that will be the end of this video. Hope you liked it and it was useful to you. Also, if you are struggling to understand when to do planche leans, how to do them, and you still can't quite understand the form, you can always book a free consultation call with either me or Paul at our website caliboost.net, and we will also leave a link down in the description. And that being said, subscribe to our YouTube channel because we will have a lot more tutorials coming up. Click the notification bell because we upload weekly. See you in the next video. Comment down below if this video was helpful to you. Peace.